9.2, we'll start on page 64. And again, we'll sort of skip through this. We won't do every problem. Like terms mean that they have the same letters and exponents. Only the number in front can be different, that coefficient. So we'll skip to example 2. This is at the bottom of that page. And we'll just do a couple of these. So like terms, we want to look for things that have the same letter. So like here we have 3x and plus 2x and a minus 1x. So those all have an x. And so we take 3 minus 1 plus 2, the numbers that are in front. And 3 minus 1 is 2, and plus 2 more is 4. So we have 4x. And then we see we have a 4y here, and a 2y, and a minus 8y. The sign that's in front of the number stays with the number. Keep it with it. So positive 4, positive 2, minus 8. So 4 plus 2 is 6, minus 8 is a negative 2y. So this is our final answer, 4x minus 2y. We'll skip B. Let's do C. So here we have a 3ab squared. So we're looking for things that have ab squared. So here's a minus 1ab squared. And those are the only two ab squareds we have. So 3 minus 1 is 2ab squared. Here we have an a squared b. And this is an a squared b. And this is an a squared b. So remember, this is like a 1 plus 3 minus 1. Gives us a positive 3a squared b. So even though they both have a's and b's, it's very different when the exponent's in a different letter, or if the exponents are different. The exponents and the letters have to match exactly in order to be a like term. We'll skip D and E. We can do F. Here's 4x squared minus 1x squared plus 2x squared. So 4 minus 1 is 3, plus 2 more is 5x squared. And here we have a 2x plus a 1x, which is 3x. So a negative number, a negative in front means the opposite of. So we're going to work on getting rid of parentheses here. When there's a plus sign in front of the parentheses, and just a plus sign in front of the parentheses don't really do anything. So we can just remove the parentheses. But when there's a minus in front of the parentheses, it means that everything inside the parentheses needs to be the opposite. So we keep that 2 out in front. And so we look at x, and because of this negative sign, we want the opposite of x, which would be minus x. And we look at the 2y, we want the opposite of 2y, so we have minus 2y. So here we keep the 5 out in front. This means the opposite of everything we see inside. So the opposite of negative 2a would be positive 2a. The opposite of b would be negative b. Here we have a negative in front of these parentheses, so an opposite of x is negative x, and the opposite of 1 would be negative 1. Now these parentheses have a plus sign in front, so that means that we're not doing anything with it, and the parentheses aren't really needed. So we can just drop them. We'll skip this one, and this one, and this one, and we'll go to example 4. So in example 4, when we have a number in front of the parentheses, that number gets multiplied by everything inside. So we have 2 times a is 2a, and 2 times b is a positive 2b. Here we have a negative 2 times x, or negative 2x, and a negative 2 times y, which gives negative 2y. So here we need to be really careful because the order of operations says that we multiply before we add or subtract. So this 2 out in front just stays out in front. But we're going to take this as a negative 5 times 3a. So that would give us negative 15a. and then a negative 5 times a negative 2b gives us positive 10b. We'll skip this one. We'll look at this one again. Here we have 1, so we have a minus 4 times x is a minus 4x, and a minus 4 times 2y is a negative 8y. So now we're going to get rid of the parentheses and then combine like terms. So in A, this first set of parentheses has nothing in front of it, so those parentheses aren't doing anything. But in the second set of parentheses, we have a negative 2 times x, which is negative 2x, and a negative 2 times a negative 2y is a positive 4y. Then we have a 3x and a minus 2x, which is just x, and a minus 1y plus 4y is a positive 3y. We'll skip example B and we'll do C. Here we keep the 2 out in front, and this is a negative in front of the parentheses. Remember, that means the opposite of. So we take the opposite of 4, which is negative 4, and the opposite of minus x, which is plus x. And then we can combine like terms right here. 2 minus 4 is a negative 2 plus x. Look at this one. These first set of parentheses don't have anything in front of them, so we just can drop the parentheses. Here we have that negative, which means opposite of. So opposite of A would be minus A, and opposite of a negative B would be a positive B. So now we combine like terms. Here's an A minus an A. 1 minus 1 is 0. We could have 0A. And here we have 1b plus 1b is plus 2b. Now we don't normally write 0a because 0 times anything is just 0. So our final answer would just be 2b. Let's skip E and let's look at F. So here we have a negative 2 times 3, which is a negative 6x, and a negative 2 times negative 5, which is a positive 10. And then we have here a negative 4 times x, which is a negative 4x, and a negative 4 times a negative 1, which is a positive 4. Let's combine like terms. Here we have negative 6x minus 4x is a negative 10x, and 10 plus 4 is 14. So now we'll keep going. We'll talk about solving equations. Now you've already done solving equations, but the idea here that we're just trying to point out is that solving equations is just finding a missing number. So like in D, 28 divided by something is 4, that something is 7, and that's solving the equation. So is 4 a solution to x plus 3 equals 7? Well, sure it is, because 4 plus 3 equals 7. Let's look at C. Is 2 a solution to x squared plus 6 equals 5x? Well, let's find out by putting 2 in place of x. So 2 squared is 4, and 4 plus 6 is 10, and 5 times 2 is 10. And because these two sides are equal, it is a solution.